Good morning, guys. I hope you're doing well. I'm back with another video on our series of doctrine, biblical doctrine. Basically, this series, guys, again, is not a in-depth look at these biblical doctrine. Rather, it's a short look, short glances to start making you think, okay, what is it I actually believe the Bible teaches? What is it I believe about these different topics or doctrine within the Bible? Doctrine, again, meaning just what do you believe about a certain thing? So these videos are meant to help you start thinking through what is it I believe the Bible actually teaches. And to that end, I have questions at the end of each of these videos to help you start answering that question. What is it I believe? So that being said, let's dive in and talk about our next doctrine, the doctrine of sin. Now, the doctrine of sin is called hamartiology. Hamartiology. It's actually, it's a doctrine I didn't know the word for until I started researching for this series. Hamartiology, the doctrine of sin. Basically, it's what do you believe sin is? What do you believe that the Bible teaches about sin? This includes what is sin, the consequences of sin, the origins of sin, the way sin impacts your relationship with God, and something called inherited sin or /sin nature. It's kind of not quite same two sides of the same coin. There's very similar inherited sin and sin nature, but not quite identical. But again, all this falls into what is the doctrine of sin, hamartiology. What do you believe about sin? So, why is the doctrine of sin important? Well, it affects your view of the relationship between man and God, but also your view of Christ and his death and resurrection. As I record this, tomorrow is Easter, which is a very important holiday because it has a lot to do with sin and the doctrine thereof, and how our relationship with God has been impacted by sin, and how Christ came to deal with that issue. So your doctrine of sin, what you believe about sin, is very important. It's integral to understanding the work of Christ, but also our relationship with God and why he's done some of the things he's done and why we need to respond certain ways. So all that falls into hamartiology, hamartiology, for those of you who would like to look it up, hamartiology. So yeah, that's the doctrine of sin in a nutshell. Before I go, I have two questions for you today to kind of help you start thinking about the doctrine of sin and to kind of start applying that doctrine then to your own life. So the first question is, what is it that you believe sin is? This is a very basic but very important question. You need to answer this first before you can really begin to understand the doctrine of sin. What is it I believe sin is? Once you start answering that question, you're going to find that it may be simple on the surface, but it's a little more complicated once you get into it, because the answer, I think, will lead you to a deeper understanding of your relationship with God, but also the work of Christ on the cross. So, first question, what do I believe sin is? Second question, how does that belief impact my choices? How does that belief impact my choices? Guys, once you start looking at what sin is, it should have an impact on how you make decisions, what choices you make throughout your day. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope this video is very encouraging and very helpful. That's all I got for today. So until tomorrow, take care. I'll see you later.